It's Judgment Day. Today, my BMW M5, which was in a huge accident, is about to be inspected by BMW. My M5 was left with some serious damage.
If you require support with your vehicle, please hold the line.
No! With one repair in particular that only trained technicians could do.
Are you mad?
But with no previous experience, I attempted to do it myself. Yay! Since then, I've repaired the rest of the car, modified it, and increased the power. That is so loud. But today, BMW need this car back for a fault which might not necessarily be my own. So as you guys know, we've replaced every single airbag inside this car, including the dashboard, the steering wheel airbag, the knee airbag, and all of the curtain airbags. Yet we're still getting a fault on the dashboard for airbags. In the previous video, we scanned the codes and the only fault was the knee airbag. Although we bought a brand new one from BMW, so we found it strange it was bringing up a fault. When we tested it with the auto, the ohm reading was meant to be between 1.3 and 5.4. When it was unplugged, it was 0, but when it was plugged in, it was showing 25 ohms. After speaking to BMW, they've told me I need to bring the car in with the airbag connected so they can test it to see if it's actually a faulty airbag. But some of you guys have mentioned something, and this something that you've mentioned potentially could be the fix. But in order to try it, I need to remove the knee airbag once again. It's only held in with two 10mm bolts, so it's not too hard. So here's the faulty airbag in question, but some of you noticed that on the actual airbag connector here, there's supposed to be a clip on it, and I didn't have the clip. Now this could be me being genuinely stupid, but if this works, then yeah, I'm stupid. Now this is the little clip that's missing, and apparently this thing's important. One of you guys told me that when this clip is inserted into the connector, a little bit of plastic sits between the two connectors to stop it shorting out or creating any static which could set the knee airbag off. That's connected. I'm not feeling confident. The airbag light was still on, then went off, then back on again. Still there, and we still have a restraint system issue. You know what, let's scan the codes and just check. So in goes the auto device into the OBD port, and up come a bunch of old fault codes that we need to clear off first. And once we cleared them, we could check the results. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, it could have fixed it, Matt.
Wow, was he looking promising?
It could have fixed it. Has that done it? One clip was causing all this hassle, and now we're gonna have to go to BMW and say I'm sorry. Here we go. Let's see. It's gone.
Hey.
A faultless car.
Yeah, it worked.
A faultless car because of one clip. Well, we've got one more thing to do before we take it to BMW, and it looks like they're going to inspect the rest of the car. In the last video, we made a few modifications, including the front splitter, the carbon rear diffuser, and the rear spoiler as well. Now I know some of you don't really like the modifications that we've done, but I think that's what separates it from a normal M5 to my M5. It's what car modification is about, and I think one thing that is missing to slide in the rear diffuser to the front diffuser, I'm hoping, are some really nice carbon side skirts. But as we was unboxing them, all was not how it seemed. They don't even fit. They were miles too short.
Right.
What? Nah.
No,
There's no
terrible.
way. Okay, well that's a fail. Looks like we're going straight to BMW. Now, on a day like today where we're rushing round to get the BMW ready to go to BMW, I couldn't think of any better time to have a Y-Food meal replacement drink. Inside one of these shakes, there is 26 vitamins and minerals. It's high in fiber, high in protein, it's lactose-free, it's gluten-free, and there's no added sugar. Now, it's impossible to say you don't like Y Food because they make so many different flavors. And for summer, we've got all the tropical flavors. This one is tropical, this one is strawberry, and this one is peach. And it wasn't long until we arrived at BMW. So just one of these bottles will replace one meal throughout the day. It's got enough in it to give you all that your body needs to do so. And with the fruity range, it makes it perfect for summer, especially if you're on the go like me. So to try Y Food for yourself today, there is a link in the description box below, and with this banner appearing underneath me right now, you're gonna save yourself a nice bit of cash as well. Cheers, Y Food. This was it.
Yeah.
My M5 goes back to its home ground.
Gotta go hard.
So here we are at BMW Leicester. Now originally we were meant to come here to have the airbag fixed. They told us to bring it here with the airbag connected. We've managed to fix that. That's not going to stop us getting a health check and seeing what the technicians think of my repair, which wasn't necessarily done by a professional. Let's get this thing inside.
Let's go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard.
Mr. Armstrong, how are we doing today? You good?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. If I could take your key off of you, I'll just take it straight through, get it sorted for you, and then I'll be right back with the paperwork.
Thank you.
Fine.
Look after it.
Of course.
Now before the M5 goes through into the workshop, it first has to drive through these posts called a faster line, which is actually pretty clever. So this thing right here, if I remember right, it does, it's called a faster line, and I think it, if I'm right in saying, it checks, does it check the wheel alignment?
Alignment, and then the bodyguard checks for damage, so when you bring it in, so just so if there's any discrepancy, if it was ever damaged on site.
It's never been damaged, that car.
That's fine.
And a few moments later, we were able to get the results to see if the wheels were in line. How off is it? So this is basically showing me now, yeah, the front is a little off. Yeah, we need to do a wheel alignment. It's not surprising that the front wheels are out of line, especially with the amount of work that we've done to it. But if I put that strut tower in even 1 millimeter out, it's going to affect the whole alignment. Even taking the suspension off and on again can affect the alignment. So we need to get it on an alignment rack before we jump to any conclusions that I've installed the strut tower wrong.
We're reading the key, so it'll bring up the service data, various error codes. How much fuel you got on board?
Any recalls?
No.
No recalls.
No.
Great.
Does it need servicing?
No, I did that.
And reset the light.
Yeah, reset the light myself in my BMW approved workshop.
See where it's been serviced in the past.
Sit now.
Sheffield, yeah.
Okay.
At that 1,000 miles.
At 9,000. It crashed around then.
12th of January, 21.
It crashed in February. Now the M5 was being taken into the workshop, ready for its inspection. But meanwhile, I had another issue. So this is another story in itself. I actually lost the key for the car, so I had to order one from here. And in the meantime, I found my key. This is a non-returnable item though, and that has just cost me a total of
£341.
But at least I got 2 keys now. Another problem solved. But back in the workshop, Rich is preparing the M5 for the health inspection. And there's something he noticed straight away.
Oh, earth point's missing. Cool.
He's looking for an earth point for his battery charger, but it actually turns out the eVenturi intake was hiding it. It's covering it over.
Just a couple of things already seen. Obviously, wiring looms in bits. As you can see, that looks like it's been crushed as well.
Yeah.
And you see these all data lines as well in here. So obviously that probably wants addressing. That's probably quite crispy as well. Obviously all the sealer and stuff like that.
I wonder why it's like that. Why is the sealer like that?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to say. But probably something to do with new inner wings and things like that. As you can see, factory this side. as you can see, factory line, but obviously that is done by a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously that one's been done by a Dulux dog.
I was going to say, someone looks like they haven't done sealant before.
Yeah, that's right. So that's just one of them things.
Now, after fitting structural parts, you're supposed to use seam sealer to seal the gap between each panel. The problem is, at factory, this is done by a machine, and trying to replicate the way that they do it is pretty difficult. And I was pretty terrible at doing it. Just look at that. This is how it's supposed to be done with the right equipment.
Yeah, it's not a major issue as long as this is all obviously safe and solid. So notice that we haven't painted the hinges. What's that all about? That's probably the cheapest thing to paint.
Okay, maybe I forgot to drop the hinges to the body shop to be painted.
Plug in, see if there's any faults in the system, and obviously work out what we can do from there.
So what they're moaning at is these little clips, which BMW put way too many in, so I've lightened it.
Okay.
You don't get them in Porsches.
No.
No, it's just in. After Richard already upset me, he's now plugging in the special BMW diagnostic tool to find any more faults.
Has it actually been mapped?
It has been mapped, yeah. So
Like
this won't wipe it, will it?
No, we won't wipe it. The only time we wipe it is obviously if we have to do a software update. If we do a software update, it all depends how the map's been put on and things like that. So
why, if it's mapped, what is it going to show?
we'll flash up.
So is that my warranty voided?
Yeah, then we have to send a case to BMW saying never touch this car.
As you can imagine, I'm not too worried about warranty, but from the sounds of it, BMW can find out whether your car was mapped even if you take it off before it goes in. If it went bang, then you can say, well, it's had a map, so we're not going to touch it.
That's right. But the thing is, even if it's not got a map on here, if that went bang and you brought it in trying to get warranty, BMW can actually search all the old history and actually find out. They can tell you where it went bang and everything else. There you go. If you want to take, and like the GPS signal knows where the car is all the time. So because it knows where the car is all the time, obviously it'll know that the car's static, but it's doing 120 mile an hour.
Yeah. Even if the M5's been on a dyno, BMW can tell. If you're static, doing over 100 mile an hour, it's a bit of a giveaway. There we go for everyone watching. If your BMW's tuned, there's no hiding it really, is there? They can't really.
It's all there in black and, well, orange.
Onto the diagnostic parts. And as the screen was looking green, I thought it was all positive. Green, I'm guessing green means good.
Green means good, blue means there's something missing.
Yes, there is one thing which is still broken, and I think this will pick it up. And after a few moments of Rich digging around the front of the car, he found what was broken. This is the bit that we knew was broke. So that
goes to your pressure sensor on your air connotation.
That's it, yeah. So
Yeah.
Adam over there has ordered me. Well, I have actually got the plug.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have time to
Right, okay.
fix that. But
Well-
yeah, well, at least you found it.
Well, it's not that. We'll just move them out of the way so they don't short against each other. It'll probably be better. Hey, oh, look at that. There ain't many in there. I was expecting loads.
Doubted me.
So basically, the only faults that we've actually got in there are for the aircon, because obviously it needs gas in.
Yeah.
And actually for the all-vision mount cameras, because obviously that's saying the control unit can't be found.
Yeah.
And then that's saying that it wants programming.
We're pretty much faultless.
That's not bad.
That is
No,
not
it's good
bad.
effort.
And now he's on to the body inspection. It's getting a little nerve-wracking.
So it's just little covers like that and clips and whatnot that, you know, just want doing and
Little tidying up here and there, bit of cable management. So far, so good. There's only a few cosmetic things that I needed to do just to tidy it up.
well, yeah, I mean, that's for the inner wing. It's all in place. It's all looks good.
So that's quite a good one as well, actually.
Yeah.
Was getting a lot of comments saying that because there was just a hole in the strut tower,
Yeah.
people were saying I could have just filled it with weld and carried on. I'm guessing that's going to affect the whole structural integrity of the car.
No, because they're all cast and everything else.
Yeah.
You can't do. That's why you see you've got all these little bits in it and it just look like a bit, you know, these are all strengthening points all around this, and that's why there's so many of them laced out around here, obviously where the spring tower goes and everything else.
You
You've
should have
done
replaced
exactly
it.
the right thing, even though this was more issue. Yeah, you've
Yeah,
done
it was
exactly
just
the right thing doing
absolute.
this
Yeah, it was a mission of a
because
job.
it's done properly. Obviously.
That's really good to hear. So the strut tower's looking good. Just a few things need tidying up. Now Rich is on to the rest of the car. Everything on the front right side is looking great, and on the rear right side's looking good. But as for the back left, we have an issue.
Oh
You've got
my.
a bit of a blower there. So,
Well,
yeah.
that's new. My dad was sitting in the back, so we'll blame it on him. That's only just recently done that, and it's only done like 11,000 miles now, but I don't think the springs have helped that situation. Obviously, we're lowering it, so the shock absorber has got less travel, which I think would probably affect it.
If it's an older shock absorber, then obviously all of a sudden it's dropped.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get that as well because the seals are going to be sitting in a slightly different place.
It looks like the seals in the rear shock absorber have completely gave up, and there's fluid everywhere. But as I mentioned, I don't think the adjustable springs have helped that situation.
One thing with these as well, if you've had the bash pan off,
Yeah.
what I would always do is put new bolts in here.
Right,
Now,
someone said that.
there
Are they
is
stretch bolts or something?
Yeah, but there is actually a torque procedure for them.
Right.
Because what you can get, you can put them on, sometimes you're going down the road, you can hear a really horrible creaking noise, sounds like suspension's coming out of it.
Right.
And all it is, if these aren't torqued up in like the correct pattern, obviously you'll get the noise, and the noise will come from this. No leaks in the diff. Obviously all this oil is from this shock absorber.
Yeah.
It's proper gone with a bang, that has.
I don't know. It's strange because I mean it's not a high mileage car or anything, but I'm thinking the spring has not helped it a lot.
You know.
And that BMW, would you replace them in pairs or would you just replace a faulty
On
one?
an M car, replace them in pairs. If that one's gone, chances are that one might go
next.
soon.
Yeah.
Just purely because obviously what's on it and
Yeah.
sort, you know.
I wonder who did that.
I wonder who.
So my dad drove this car for one stint at Gumball, and I have scratches on the wheel here and a scratch on the wheel here. Yeah, Dad, you're getting the blame for that one because Matt was in the car, so he witnessed it. But other than those few issues, overall, I think we're looking good, and we're not far away from getting this car perfect. But what does Rich think? And there we go. I think personally we've not done too bad, but thanks for checking over the car. And we need a final rating. Every time we've done this, we had a final rating. If 10 out of 10 was a brand new showroom car and a 0 out of 10 was how I picked it up smashed, where would you rate it on that scale?
I'd probably go about 8 looking at it, to be honest with you.
There were 2 8 out of 10s, one from Porsche and one from BMW. So thank you so much for that. I'm really happy with that. There's a few little things to sort, but I'm sure we can get there. But thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Yeah, that wasn't me.
I'll bring the cat in, he can do it with his tail, I think. That's not you, yeah.
No, that was, someone came into the unit and did it overnight.
Yeah, right, okay.
Like a drug that I just can't deny, giving me the best high.